Guys, I've just returned home from watching Marvel Avengers Endgame, and I am an absolute huge Avengers fan. I mean, it goes back to the early 80s when I started collecting the original comics. I was always a huge Avengers fan. I collected Thor comics, I collected the Avengers, and I collected the X-Men. But my favourites were the Avengers. I loved the Vision. He was always my favourite character. So I mean, I've been a Marvel Avengers fan since, before probably many of you guys were even a glint in your daddy's eye. I mean, it goes back. Me and Marvel have some history. So you can imagine how excited I was going into that cinema today to see Avengers Endgame. And coming out now, I hardly can believe what I've seen. It's one of them moments, when you're sitting there. It's one of them things I'll remember for years, just being in that theatre today. It's just one of them things that I'm going to hold with me for such a long time, because never in my fucking life, guys, have I seen such a festering pile of fucking donkey shit as Avengers fucking Endgame. Never have I been surrounded by so many fake fucking laughers. This video is going to have spoilers, guys. I'm going to spoil the shit out of this movie, not because I'm doing it for lols, it's just because you need to fucking know. So if you are going to watch this, then I strongly suggest that you close this video down. Now, I went to see the Captain Marvel movie, and I was quite pleasantly surprised. I was ready for an absolute shitfest, but I didn't get it. I got a really good story. I liked her character story. Sure, there was a few things I didn't like, the usual CGI bullshit. I mean, it was really bad in Captain Marvel, but and a few bad one-liners and a few really bad scenes, but the actual, as far as Marvel movies go, it was one of the better ones. It was up there with the early Thor movies. It was good. It was good. So I was kind of looking forward to a good movie with this today, but I just didn't get it. You see, when we came out, we both said exactly the same thing. We felt like we'd watched a parody of the Avengers. It was almost like a YouTube comedy movie of the Avengers characters getting together for a charity spoof of their own movie. I didn't feel like I'd watched Avengers Endgame. It just felt like a taking the piss piece of comedy that I'd just actually sat through. Because, or as my girlfriend put it very well, she said, it's almost like all the characters from the Marvel Universe were given to a director and a writer who knew nothing about them and just says, there, make a movie out. This is what they can do, powers-wise. There you go, you go make a movie out of that. Because that's pretty much what we just watched. To give you an example, the Hulk is a millennial selfie-taking hybrid now. He is no longer Bruce Banner who turns into the Hulk when he gets angry. No, they thought, that's boring, even though that's what he is. He's now permanently this hybrid of Banner and the Hulk, and he's a complete fucking millennial with, do you want to take a selfie with me? Take a selfie with me? Yeah, take a... But that's nothing. Thor is a fat, overweight, drunken Fortnite player. Oh yeah. Thor is just, he's a nervous wreck, fucking alcoholic, pretty much alcoholic Fortnite player. Complete with a huge fucking gut as well. It's clearly just a prosthetic gut. It just looks so bad. But it doesn't matter because, all the people who like Thor, holding up his hammer and charging it with electricity, the lightning, because he is Thor, the god of thunder. Don't worry about that because Captain America is now Thor, the god of thunder. That's right. Captain America picks up Thor's fucking hammer because he's now worthy. Captain America is now Thor and can charge up Thor's... I can't believe I'm even saying this. Is this a dream? Mac, you're dreaming, man. You're still in bed. You haven't even woke up yet. You're going to see it tomorrow. This is a dream. Oh my goodness. Oh, thank f***. I just need to wake up. Come on, wake up. Come on, fucking wake up. You haven't been. Guys, that's not a fucking dream. Hawkeye's a vigilante murderer in Chinatown. murdering triads. Oh my god, guys. But anyway, the plot. Alright, so Thanos has wiped out half of the universe and he needs to be stopped. So hey, they go back in time and they neatly brought Ant-Man back, which I thought was a nice touch the way they did that, because I was kind of wondering, how is Ant-Man going to get out? And a little mouse triggers us, and boom, he's out. So he has worked out how time travel works to get Tony Stark on board to perfect it, and they go back in time to get all the crystals that Thanos is using for his power before he actually gets them, and so they can make a glove. Well, Tony Stark makes a glove so they can undo what Thanos did. Yes, it's far-fetched and ridiculous, but hey, I wasn't too fussed. I bought into that. And so they all go back in time and they have the little fights and all that. I'm not going to go into the details, but it all accumulates with a big fight at the end when Thanos realizes what's going on and he comes through a portal back to Earth and he wants to annihilate the Avengers. And there's only a handful that survived the last Avengers movie, and they are beaten down. Captain America's shield's all broken, and you get all this huge army of Thanos' thousands and thousands of monsters and all his henchmen, and they beat down on Captain America, Thor, the fat Fortnite player, Iron Man, and a couple of the others, Hawkeye and that. And the Avengers are beaten. But then, guys, the music goes into a crescendo as Wakanda. A portal opens and the Wakandan Black Panther walks through with these other Wakandanese people. And then another portal opens. Portals everywhere. And you name it. You fucking name it. And they come through the fucking portal. 1,000 Spider-Mans there. Everybody is being kind of resurrected, and they all come through. There's even a fucking unicorn, guys. Yeah, a unicorn horse flying around there. Woohoo! It's not really. It's not unicorn. It's Valkyrie on a Pegasus horse, I guess. But I'll tell you who is there, guys. Pepper Potts. Yeah, you know Pepper Potts. You know Pepper Potts. Of course, you know who Pepper Potts is. The accountant of Tony Stark or whoever the. Oh my goodness, she's in a suit. Yeah, she has her own suit, and she's flying around, firing off all these missiles and laser beams, pew pew, from her fucking suit, guys. Pepper fucking Potts. Well, hey, by that point I was just in tears. I was absolutely in tears. I literally was face palming like this fight with thousands of people on each side was a big CGI fest. It was just crap. It lasted only about 5 or 6 minutes, and it was all a fight over a glove. Thanos wanted the glove, the Avengers needed the glove. And guess what? The glove was on the floor. The men had failed. The men, the Black Panther, Spider-Man, even though he's just a little kid, Thor, Iron Man, they'd all tried to get this glove across the battlefield to this time machine thing. And they couldn't do it. So Captain Marvel has the glove and she has to take it across to the van. How will she ever do it? And then Pepper Potts in her iron suit comes along and says, with help from her friends. And then every single superhero woman from the entire Marvel series just happens to be right next to her. Not a man in sight. Total feminist shot of every woman. It's just like the men have failed, the women shall now take over. And oh my goodness, the cringe was just fucking awful. So there's running across the battlefield, killing everybody, and it's just, oh my goodness, it was just so bad, so fucking cringingly bad. You could tell it had totally been stuck in there for political reasons. It was just trash, absolute fucking trash, as if that would ever. And then of course it's all leading up to the deaths. Oh yes, we lose some good people. Tony Stark dies. Iron Man dies. And guess who it is that's with him? They're all there when he's dying, but guess who it is? Guess who it is that crawls up to go totally full fucking emo with him? That's right. It's Spider-Fuck. That's right. The little boy Spider-Man. Oh, Tony. Oh, it was nauseating. I honestly wanted to vomit into my partner's popcorn because she had the extra large carton and it would have really held my vomit. But guys, I started laughing because I found it hilarious It was just, I could just see how bad this was. But the movie theatre was quiet except for a few people crying. And I started laughing at the people crying. But I was like muttly laughing. I was like, like this. And my whole upper body was bouncing up and down. And my partner, you know what she does? She grabs my arm and pats my arm and says, "Are you alright? Are you alright?" So the guys behind me think I'm bawling me fucking eyes out, which made me laugh even more. So I'm like going, guys, I don't belong in 2019. I found that out today. I'm a dinosaur. A relic. A relic of when movies were fucking good. Of when you could have an action movie without having to throw in a fucking joke every 5 seconds. We had a time when movies were really fucking great. The likes of the Terminator. Imagine the Terminator today. You don't get aliens now. We don't get movies like Alien or Aliens or like Jaws. They wouldn't know how to do it because you have to be serious when you make them movies. You have to have a serious movie with a serious script. They can't do that now. Everything has to be a fucking piss take. It's like they're embarrassed of their own movie, so, oh, let's just make it a good fucking laugh. Like, oh, Fortnite in there, he's playing Fortnite. Let him tell off a gamer who he online, who's playing in multiplayer that's been a wanker to him on Twitch or something. Oh yeah, that's all in. They do all that. Guys, it's a cringe fest. It's a cringe fest of bad humour, a shite story, emo for the sake of emo. And I'm sure loads of people will absolutely fucking lap this shit up and love it. Well, if that's what floats your boat, enjoy.